this Wolverine book. When is this from? Madripoor Nights. There we go. 88 to 89. So this was a little after I was born. I was a baby when this came out. I still feel like comic books probably still weren't popular, as obviously not as much as today, but like especially reading this whole thing, reading this, I don't know what you call this, anthology, compendium, like back to back. At the beginning of almost every comic book, Wolverine explains his claws and powers without fail. Like, as in case you forgot that Wolverine has healing factor and claws. Oh shit, this guy was funny. Yeah, at the beginning of like every comic, Wolverine's like, my healing factor means that these bullets won't actually hurt me. It's just like every time. In case you forgot. I have conflicted feelings about this. I don't know, as an omnibus. Some of it was cool. Like a couple of the characters, I don't know if it was her or one of the other ladies that shows up, is like ex-Miss Spider-Woman, like the one from that show. I guess maybe they were promoting or something. I don't know. But she did give up on being Spider-Woman. She's just hanging out in this Madripoor place. Madripoor is like I don't know, what do you call it? Like an underground city with a bunch of crime, but the crime's kind of okay. The mob is more powerful than the government or whatever. I don't know. It was cool. I wasn't a fan of like they made Wolverine's face different in like every single drawing. Like, I don't know. It's just funny. This Razor Fist guy was kind of a clown. He got dispatched pretty early and never really came back. I think the action was cool. There were some decent action scenes when Wolverine was actually using his claws and stuff. He gets beat up a little bit, so that's cool to see because he's not, you know, invulnerable. He still needs to take hits and then heal or whatever. But like one of the ladies he's falling around and befriending is like one of the heirs to the criminal underworld, I guess. And then one of them's a Spider-Woman lady. One of them's like some detective lady from, I don't remember where. So I don't know, there's like 10 comics in this book. That's pretty good. I liked every once in a while they had like just covers and sketches. Hulk shows up for one or two of the chapters. I think that was the highlight. The Patch and what was the Hulk's name? I don't even remember. Some kind of Cool Joe or something. I don't remember. I don't know. So the action was good. Some of the storylines were kind of bum. I don't know, a little boring. There was a lot of like, I don't know what you call it, like social issue, how to run a city, gang drama, like crime drama. I don't know how to put it really. There was like, I don't know, like some storylines just didn't really go anywhere, and it was just like, who's going to be in charge of Madripoor if we get rid of this crime boss or whatever. It's just kind of boring. Razor Fist was whatever. This guy was kind of a jerk, but a necessary jerk, I suppose. I guess a lot of them kind of turned out that way, huh? I don't know. These cover drawings are pretty good. Wolverine Classic #3, cover up by Kevin Nolan and Tom Smith. I'm not a fan of this Wolverine face. I think that there's too much mutton chop. I think I'm not a fan of the Akuma Street Fighter V style mutton chops. Too much. Oh yeah, Silver Samurai shows up too. That was pretty sick. I think this is my favorite Wolverine costume. Big old belt, black and yellow. Not normally a fan of yellow either. Silver Samurai was kind of funny. He's a mutant, and his power is, they only mentioned it once, so it's hard to remember. He channels his energy through his sword, but it's still not made of adamantium. So I think Wolverine busts it. So there's like the Muramasa shows up, like the mystical whatever sword that makes everybody want to kill each other or whatever. That shows up. I think Silver Samurai walks off with it in this. I guess I didn't really set up Patch very well. So the X-Men are dead or pretending to be dead or whatever, and Wolverine's kind of in hiding and he doesn't want people to know who he is, so that's his solution, is just put an eye patch. And then spoilers at the end, everyone's like, yeah, we all knew you were Wolverine the whole time, like what's wrong with you? When he like takes off his eye patch and reveals his, I think he had his costume hidden away or something. I don't know, it's just funny. Wolverine gets possessed by the sword for a little bit. So like ex-Spider-Woman and friends gotta knock his ass out. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, he's being a bad guy for a minute, and so I think Silver Samurai kind of helps stop him and then grabs his sword. He's like a noble bad guy or whatever. I don't know. Silver Samurai was okay. His personality was a little whack, but this storyline was decent, where he shows up, gets the sword from Wolverine. Nice panel. I like his skull mask, so you know he's bad. Marvel Age Annual. Nice drawings. Blue suit. Don't think I've ever seen that before. There's Beast. No blue fur, nothing. I don't know. I didn't know that they had him in human form. Maybe he healed himself or something. I don't know. There's the gang. What up, Rich? How's it going? Happy, what is it, Thursday? Oh, yeah. These two clowns show up. They were a little underwhelming. Roughhouse and Bloodsport. Roughhouse is this dude. He's just big and he hits like a truck and he has a lot of HP, and that's it. I think those are his powers. I think that's it. And then this dude's like a vampire. Just like a literal vampire. But he like does some like mind control stuff a little bit with the ladies. It's weird. I don't know. So they show up for like 1 or 2 comics, and this guy is just like a pervy douche to all the women. And Wolverine punches him a whole bunch, but he doesn't want to use his claws because he's trying to hide the fact that he's Wolverine. So he gets his ass kicked a little bit. Why were they here? I don't remember. I think they were trying to tip the scales of the gang lords in Madripoor. This dude was cool. This is like Wolverine's best bud in Madripoor. He's got like a plane and a bunch of guns, and he drives them around, flies them around. What was his name? Arch? He was cool. Wolverine. Oh, Joe Cool. That's the name of the Grey Hulk. Oh, he got possessed a little bit by one of the big bads. So he thought about shooting Wolverine, and then he's like, nah, I better not. They get in a dog fight. The dog fight was pretty sick. Snaked. This guy looks suspiciously like old Stan Lee, even though Stan Lee wasn't old when this came out. I wonder if that's supposed to be somebody else, a relative maybe. What else do we got? Wolverine beats up a bunch of people. This is more boring crime drama stuff. Takes out Roughhouse. Eventually. I think he throws him in with some kind of sea monster. I don't remember. Nice drawing, nice drawing. Another crime prince. Oh, it's Joe Fixit. That's what it was. It's Joe Fixit. So the story behind the Grey Hulk, I never knew. And I looked it up, but it was confusing. So the way they explain Grey Hulk is the Hulk wants to be in charge, but he doesn't like Bruce Banner to be active at all. So essentially, this is the Hulk at night, and then he takes some substances to make sure that Bruce Banner is asleep during the whole day. So essentially, it's just a nighttime Hulk. That's why he's gray. And there's no Bruce Banner. Bruce Banner is just like he sleeps the whole day because he's knocked out on painkillers or whatever that this Joe Fixit guy takes. But he's essentially like, I don't know, it feels kind of like Smart Hulk, but also kind of a jerk. So he shows up and Wolverine realizes, oh, it's the Hulk, but he's gray. I don't know why his skin is different. I'm going to play some pranks on him. And the pranks were actually kind of funny. Like, they fly the Hulk in on a plane, right? I guess he's in some kind of suitcase or luggage or whatever, and then Wolverine drops him off at his hotel or whatever, right? I think he comes to help him deal with Roughhouse and Bloodsport. There's the Hulk getting shot in the face and then beating up a bunch of dirtbags. Joe Fixit, huh? So Wolverine takes him to his hotel, and then he goes to sleep, and you know, it's just Bruce Banner in Joe Fixit's suit, knocked out. So Wolverine throws away all of his clothes. So, and he leaves behind like only purple pants, like some purple pants to wear. So he's got to like go buy a new fresh suit. Look, he's got a Kingpin suit on. It's pretty good. Buys a nice new fresh suit. They don't have to use as much color ink. Maybe it's cheaper to make him wear a white suit. I don't know. So then he meets back up with Logan, and Logan's like, hey, you gotta help me, come take a ride with me. So they break out a bunch of sex trafficked women, and then they go back to the hotel room and they mess around with Bruce Banner, and then Joe Fixit gets all mad. It's just kind of funny. He wakes up and he's like, where's all the ladies at? And they're gone. They were messing around with Mr. Banner. So Wolverine, like, at some point, yeah, he like takes the Hulk on a drive or whatever, and then he drops him off a cliff. Like, he pulls a bridge out from under him or whatever and drops him onto like some kind of warehouse that the crime lords are using to store drugs. He like uses the Hulk as a weapon, also, and pranks him. I don't know, it's funny. It's way better than the way I'm describing it. I just thought that was good. That was probably my favorite part of the book, was Wolverine pranking Grey Hulk and getting him to clean up the streets of Madripoor by accident, just by dropping him onto warehouses and stuff. I don't know, it's funny. So I don't know, crime vacuum, different family gets set up. I think the lady, her name is Tiger. I think she's now in charge of the crime in Madripoor. There's one weird comic, part of a comic, I don't know, where Wolverine is like PTSDing about Sabretooth kicking the shit out of him. Apparently he does that on his birthday. Like Sabretooth like tears out his eyeball and tears him to shreds, and that's on his birthday. And then like Sabretooth is harassing him again. He's like leaving notes on dead bodies in Madripoor and being like, no one's allowed to kill you but me. And it's like in Sabretooth's writing or whatever, and it's on Wolverine's birthday. It's kind of funny. I didn't know. I looked up Sabretooth after I read this comic, and apparently he's way older than Wolverine. Like, he was fighting Iron Fist in like this, I don't know, way before Wolverine came out. Apparently Iron Fist is a lot older. Yeah, he was a villain for Iron Fist, and then he moved around, and then he kind of found a home as Wolverine's bad guy. I didn't realize. The last big chunk of this book was Indiana Jones / vampires. It was okay. Some of the characters were kind of well written. Like, this guy was cool. This guy thinks that he's Indiana Jones, but he actually kind of like does some Indiana Jones type stuff, and it was funny. It was pretty good. Riding a horse, wearing his clothes. This might have been my favorite part of the book, I think. Well, no, second favorite. It was interesting. The vampire rules were a little whack. Like, there's a joke about having to be invited in at some point, And the vampires are like, what are you talking about? And they just like barge their way into whatever I think it's a plane. They're trying to barge their way into a plane. Whoever was guarding the door was like, you're supposed to be invited in or whatever. They kind of become like half vampire, half like orcish looking dudes. I think that might be the main vampire. I don't remember. Ball. This was one of my favorite panels. Wolverine jumping at Ball to fight him. He does it again in a mildly different pose with the claws out. Ball was like Voldemort. He's got a bunch of scattered stones he needs to put together so he can like get his powers back or whatever. He like deep fries Logan at one point. I thought that was funny. That's a good face. That's a good face. Yeah, I don't know. Wolverine friends, go try to stop this Ball guy from getting all the pieces of his gems and destroying the world or whatever. Ooh la la. Yeah, I don't know. The vampires did feel a little out of place, but this storyline was way more interesting than a lot of the crime drama they had earlier on. I can kind of understand, like after reading this, I can kind of understand why they've never adapted any of this to show or film, as far as I remember. Maybe the cartoon show, but I don't really remember them dealing with Madripoor all that much. I remember him going to Japan. I remember going to space, going to the future. Not to crime drama island, though. Oh yeah, he got his suit on for the last chapter. He brought it with him, but didn't feel like wearing it or whatever, because he wanted to hide his identity. That's a good face. All right, I think that's enough of me blabbering on. Book was good. I think I'm gonna give it a 3.5 out of 5. 7 out of 10. Not bad. Some of the drawings felt a little cheap, especially with the faces. But I don't know. Art was cool. Some of the storylines were decent. That's a good face. What up, Josh? Yeah, 7 out of 10. I think I liked it. This Swamp Thing never really showed up. I didn't read all this this post what do you call this, an omnibus or a collection? Volume 1, 88 to 89. So this is like early post X-Men Wolverine. Kind of cool. Joe Fixit was my favorite. Silver Samurai second favorite. Ball Vampire third. Rough House and Bloodsport were kind of whack. Anyway, that's it. That's all I got. Thanks for joining me on my book report.